Hey guys, Red Pill Biker here. And today's topic is the crap I went through trying to win back or to get something back that I never had in the first place. And when you've been, when you've allowed yourself to be gaslit, when you've allowed yourself to buy into somebody else's delusional neurotic thinking, projecting it onto yourself and saying, well, I can fix this because I must be the problem, and I must be the problem because she said I'm the problem. Then you start jumping through amazing amount of hoops to win back something you never had. But you don't know that until after you've gone through the process, because what happened, at least it happened in my marriage, and I got a feeling I'm not alone on this deal, is that they say this isn't good enough, so you work to make that good enough. Well, no, you missed this. You missed this. You missed it. And pretty soon it's out of sight. And you just got to throw up your hands and say, I don't know who this person is, but I've never met this perfect person who has to jump through all these hoops, work through all these feminine calculus problems to make themselves worthy. But I didn't know that at the time, and so, I was trying to get back her respect, her affection, her admiration. I really wanted those things. That's important to us men. It is important to us, all those things. It's important to us in our personal relationships. I mean, I don't have any friends in my life who don't give me a certain amount of respect. I don't have any friends in my life that there isn't some level, of course, I'm not talking sexual here, but a certain level of affection between us. And I expect some admiration for my accomplishments, because if you don't admire me, why in the hell would you want to be my friend, let alone my wife? So why would a woman who does not particularly respect men, and why would a woman who doesn't really want to show any affection to a man, and I'm not talking about a one-night stand where they'll, clean your pipe and do monkey backflips on you. I'm talking about just simple, loving feelings, touches, caressing, cuddling, and, of course, sex with women. But just a certain level of affection, you know. See a buddy of yours, you might give them a hug, that kind of stuff. We all do it, and some admiration, you know. Look at me. I've accomplished some things. And that should be part of the reason you might want to be my friend. It certainly would be part of my reason to want to be your friend. If you've got nothing to admire, I'm not sure we would ever be friends. Anyway, you walk into these relationships with a female, and I don't think any of that's there. And so what is the point of being there? You're a resource. You are a resource. And that resource is simply this. You bring money, you bring some level of stability. So in my case, what were my resources? What did I have to offer? Well, I was physical labor. I could fix shit. Something broke, I could fix it. And if I couldn't fix it, I knew the guy to hire to come fix it. Not a big deal. I was a built-in babysitter. I took care of dinners several nights a week because she was working 12, 14, 18 hours a day at times, trying to set up this fucking law practice. But the main thing I brought was money. Her initial relationship with me was not about love and admiration and all that good stuff. I had a good, steady job with a pretty decent paycheck. It wasn't huge, never was going to be huge. She knew that going in. I knew that when I took the job. But it was a good, steady job, and I liked that aspect because it freed me up to live my life, which I apparently just decided to sacrifice on the altar of marriage. And I was also, there to babysit her kids while she put in these 12, 14, 16-hour days. So I'm thinking, having been gaslit, that the issues were mine. And so initially when we met, I was pretty buffed out. I was younger and I lifted a lot of weights and had big, huge arms. And, I'm 6'3", and I'm built big. And so doing stuff like that, my body, I'm 62 now, it doesn't respond quite the same, but in the day, it responded very nicely. And so I went, started hitting the gym again. Well, it didn't matter how good looking I got, how fit I got. There was none of it came back. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not the issue, and it has to be my problem because she told me it was my problem. And so I decided, well, you know, she's a spiritual woman. I'm a spiritual man. I know what the answer is. I'll become more spiritual. I'll become, I'll find us a way to connect on a spiritual level, which will bring back the admiration and love and affection and, quite frankly, sex that we no longer had in our marriage and hadn't had since the day we cut the wedding cake. I think I'm kidding. That's true. And so I went and found a good church. We started going there, and our spiritual lives kind of evolved. Ultimately, I became a priest and started pastoring a church part-time because I never quit my full-time job. I'm what they call a tent maker priest. I didn't make any money of it. I just pastored a small church. Boy, that was going to fix the problem if I just got more spiritual. And God was going to intervene for me and fix the marriage. No. Yeah, by the way, I don't hang on to those belief systems so much anymore. But did that fix the problem? Oh, fuck no, it didn't fix the problem. And so I thought, well, if it's not my spirituality and if it's not my physique, what else is there? Red pill biker, it's gotta be your mind. You're not educated enough. And so in the midst of doing all these other things, I went back, I got a master's degree in counseling. Like I say, none of the things I just mentioned do I regret. All of them have made me a better man and made me who I am. My motivation was off, but I got my master's degree. Did that make a difference? No. I know what it is. Well, I'm a priest. I need to go get a doctorate. Well, I went and got a doctorate in theology. That'll make a difference. No, not really. So, ultimately, I went back and I got a PhD in counseling. And I did use that and started a counseling practice on top of everything else. I'm working full-time at the prison. I'm doing the whole pastor thing. And I've got an evening practice seeing people for a couple nights a week. Was there any admiration for that? Was there any affection for that? Was there any respect for that? No. None of it. I think the most it ever did was just irritate her that I was off doing something else. Everything I did for her. And that's the problem, guys. And that's where we got to stop and check our motivations. I don't regret anything. I certainly don't regret trying to work on my health. I certainly don't regret increasing my spiritual contact with whatever is out there. And I do believe there's something out there. There's some kind of divine design going on around us. I don't believe the way I used to, and I can't. Because you start reading enough, and all of a sudden you get drawn off into philosophy and all this other stuff, and you really start to question some things, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. I did whatever I could for, to develop myself intellectually. None of this stuff mattered. Guys, are you trying to chase something that you never had? Are you trying to chase something that never was there? Are you trying to chase something that doesn't exist? Women don't admire us. I've heard it more than once, and I'm sure you have too. And usually women say, slightly jokingly, but remember, listen not only to what they say, but what they do. Register that. Because women think men are stupid. It doesn't matter that anything of any value ever put on this planet was thought up by, created by, implemented by, and approved upon by men. Doesn't matter. We're stupid. Why? Because we don't think like them. And to this day, I think whatever is out there, that I don't have to deal with that. So guys, I'm just saying, check your motivations. If you're doing it for yourself, if you're getting up in the morning and cracking a book before you go to a full-time job and then going to some class at night to improve yourself, I say more power to you. And if you're doing that to become a better resource so you can get a woman, I say forget about it. If you become a man who's creating good resources, women are going to come to you if that's what you want. But if you're doing it to win over somebody or to win back somebody, you never had them in the first fucking place. Sorry. Truth. Truth. Alright, guys. Life is hard. Don't make it any harder than it needs to be. Keep it real.